Hello everyone, and welcome to another fantastic day of NGS action. My name is Tokibi, and I'll be bringing you all the action, finally with more than one monitor. Now, still gonna get used to the setup. It's gonna be a little bit back and forth, so bear with me as I do get used to this, but it's gonna be a pretty good one tonight. We're gonna have a doubleheader, and first up in the heroic division, Too Many Geese versus Invade Camp Enjoyers. Now let's take a quick look over at the standings, see how these two teams are doing. And Too Many Geese, unfortunately, currently in last place, 0 points. They played 2 matches, got dominated in both. And then Invade Camp Enjoyers, they are currently in 3rd place, also 2-0 so far in both their matches, 2 dominations. So Too Many Geese definitely been struggling to get a bit started right now, but Invade Camp Enjoyers have been doing an absolute blast. Now, I'm going to quickly go between the map picks and bans, as I completely forgot to send those in, as actually we don't even have time. It is time for the draft, so we're just gonna head right into that. But to kind of walk you through it, it is Garden of Terror and Battlefield of Eternity banned away. by Too Many Geese, and Invade Campagers, they banned away Tomb of the Spider Queen and Dragonshire. So overall, we're in a good spot, and Brax's Holdout, it's been banned non-stop in all the games that I've been casting. So gonna be fun to have our first one of the season. And it is also going to be in the Heroic Division, which, at least in my opinion, it is slightly biased, I'll admit, but it's going to make it quite a bit more fun. And for those of you who haven't seen as well, who are in the chat, new PTR notes have come out, and there's going to be a lot of map changes, a lot of different balancings coming out for that, differences in how pushing works, how towers work, how forts work, the XP orbs. So right now, it's not live, it just went on PTR, but soon this game's going to change a lot, so I'm going to be very curious to see how the metas do evolve later on. But for now, we do have the bans starting. Invade Camp Enjoyers, they are going to be banning away the Joanna to start. Whereas Too Many Geese. So I'm wondering what the picks and bans are going to be here. I believe this is only my second game casting Heroic in this current meta. And obviously a few weeks have already passed. And as I'm sure most of you know, the meta does kind of change throughout the season. As teams kind of figure out what they're comfortable with, what's good, what's not good. Some new discoveries people have made. And now that we are getting somewhat consistent patches for Heroes of the Storm, it does take a while to find those optimal picks for certain maps now. But it is going to be the Genji getting banned away by Too Many Geese. And then the Vala going to be following up on the red side. So getting rid of the pretty generic tank, getting rid of the pretty generic DPS, just trying to get rid of really the easier to play, the more versatile picks right now from Too Many Geese. Trying to put them on something a little bit more specialized. But so far, we're going to have to see how these two teams do decide to play it out. And it's going to be the Chromie that's going to be the final ban. So getting rid of those kind of playmaking assassins, getting rid of the Genji obviously is going to be a very big deal. A very good Genji can absolutely throttle a team on his own. So not surprising to see that removed. And then Chromie obviously just with that long range artillery is always so strong. So again, also not surprising to see that removed, but there's still a couple playmakers. Hanzo's available, Junkrat's available from the assassin role if either of the two teams want that. But it is just going to be Anduin locked in first for Compute-X. So they are going to go for the healer. And again, Anduin's just kind of really good, so it's not surprising to see the locked in early. It's also Brax's Holdout, so smaller map. Brightwing is still decent, but not quite as impactful. We're probably going to see maybe a Rhaegar and Uther. Just one of the standard healers. Maybe a Malfurion. Not one that I was going to bring up, but I mean, definitely not bad either. I think right now a lot of the healers are in a decently balanced state. But it is going to be the Murden locked in for Super and the Malfurion locked in for KJ Kags. So this should be a pretty strong team here as well. Now I'm wondering what they're going to pair with the Malfurion, because typically when you have the Entangling Roots, you want to either use them to set something up, or you want to use that as a big follow-up for something other, afterwards. When I say using it as a setup, basically just like as a zoning tool, kind of force someone to one direction. That's the big power of the Entangling Roots, because it is easy to dodge because it takes so long to actually do anything, but at the same time it covers such a wide area. It's just a perfect zone control tool. But it's going to be Kel'Thuzad locked in for McGiblet, and C10 for HD1 going to be locking in the Imperius. That's going to be a decent amount of damage available as well. Now again, Light Bomb combo is still not going to be the strongest with either of these two, so I am mostly waiting to see what Mundane Zebra is going to be locking in here. But it is going to be Dehaka banned away. And Dehaka is getting changed once again in that next patch. Specifically the Breath Stock cooldown going up to, I believe it's 150, 170 seconds. But you lose 50 seconds of that cooldown every time you pick up a globe. So it'll definitely change the way Dehaka's played overall. And I'm very interested to see how that's going to come through. Though I'm sure it's going to get balanced a little bit before it goes on live. But Tracer going to be the final ban of the game, coming in from Invade Camp Enjoyers. Trying to get rid of that backline access. And considering what their team comp is, it does make a lot of sense. Kel'Thuzad isn't going to be able to lock down something like a Tracer, and it's going to struggle as well. Imperius does have a little bit of CC, but it is a little bit slow. It's better during teamfight scenarios rather than it is on fast, zippy individuals. But the two carries are going to get locked in now. It's going to be the Li Ming for time and the Greymane for show. So that will give a decent bit of damage there. 240 seconds, Calamansi says. Yeah, it was a ridiculous long time. That's what I definitely remember out of that. So they're going to have a lot of poke damage with Li Ming. They're going to have the Greymane, but I'm still wondering about the Malfurion then. So they could just be for the mana, but Li Ming is a little bit mana hungry, but I don't know too much about the Greymane. But it's going to be Kira and Zagara locked in for Shoopuf and Mundane Zebra. Now, I assume that Kira is going to be primarily for the Light Bomb for Anduin. But at the same time, looking at the team comp that they have on Too Many Geese, they might not be going for the Light Bomb at all. This might be one of those few cases where Holy Word Salvation could work. Unless the KJ Kags goes the Silence at level 10, I don't think there's a lot to really cancel it. Muradin's going to be using that Stormbolt pretty early on, so you could definitely get a couple seconds worth of value out of it. As Thrall is going to be the final pick for Meep Moop. Going to be a pretty strong offlane here. Kind of a triple DPS lineup coming in with main tank Imperius. Now, as soon as C10 for HD had that, I do believe that was going to be main tank, but we're going to have to see, because either way, we're on Brax's Holdout. It is the small map. It is the snowbally fighting map, and we are about to head right into game number 1. All right, and here we are loading into game number 1 between Too Many Geese and Invade Camp Enjoyers. We are going to Brax's Holdout for the first time this season. I'm really excited for this. I've always been wanting to cast one of these games. This is my single favorite map in the game, by the way. It's just a lot of fun, has a lot of fighting. I've always thought that Zerg stuff was always really cool, so I was going to be a massive fan of any map that tries to put more emphasis on that. Now, we are going to be seeing Invade Camp Enjoyers. They're sending 3 up to that middle side. Now it's time for them to walk in. But it looks like 4 members going to be heading through that middle side. Now I'm wondering where both teams are going to meet up first. Pretty defensive start, actually. I'm a little bit surprised about this. But it's just going to be Super watching that Invade angle. Not going to be able to find anything on the Muradin as the Celestial Charge from C10. Not going to be able to land either. But both sides still just kind of pushing. It is going to be a double lane in the top side. Shoopuf and Mundane Zebra are both going to be up their time. Going to get pushed back a decent bit. A lot of damage coming in from the Carnage. And this is what they're going to be doing. They're just going to have Shoopuf be the low range threat that time can't really walk into. And Mundane Zebra just going to be pushing in those lanes and dealing a lot of damage already. But now Show going to be up in the air as well. Shoopuf taking a lot of damage. Needs to be careful. Mundane Zebra in a good position to body block if any other spells do come out. So Shoopuf will be able to reset as another Arcane Orb is going to land. But look at the damage they've already dealt to the wall. That's one of the gates gone as a pretty big fight starting to erupt in the bot side. Meep Moop starting to get taken down a little bit low. Computex as well, but will get healed back up. C10 for HD1 still trying to fight. And Meep Moop, even with that heal over time, is going to be taken down a decent bit low. But again, no first blood yet. Both teams still kind of fighting for position. Not a lot of structural damage on the spot side either, even though they did have the numbers advantage for a little while. In fact, they were the ones pushed in on the side of Too Many Geese. Is now Super not going to get chained up. And we're also seeing Super starting to take a lot of damage now. Stormbolt is going to land. Celestial Charge, I believe, is still available, but C10 not going to be popping it quite yet as KJ Keg still just DPSing over top. We'll get hit by the Chastise now, and the Celestial Charge as well. And KJ Keg starting to take a decent amount of damage, but so is C10 for HD1. Starting to get a little bit too low, and with the Leap of Faith, will be in a good spot. But now with Celestial Charge back in, and C10, it went a little bit too far. Meep Moop going to get the first blood for Too Many Geese. But in the meanwhile, on the top side, they still have control of the beacon. They still have the siege camp pushing in, so they do have to send 2 members top. And in the bot side, even though they got the kill, their HP bars are a little bit too low. Second win from Super is going to heal the main tank up just a little bit. But fighting in the top side, Time and Mundane Zebra both low, but Time going to be the one to go down instead of Shoopuf. Trying to get decently low as well. Show could look for a snipe, but unfortunately the angle's just not there. And with C10 back, Super is going to be trying to stand and contest here, but is all low, and the entangling roots will connect at least. Super actually going to get hooked back after the Dwarf Toss. Chastise lands as well, and Super just might have bitten off a bit more than he could choose. Celestial Charge as well, but it is going to be enough. C10 going to be able to get themselves another kill. As now both beacons now under control of Invade Camp Enjoyers. But now Shoopuf and Mundane Zebra still in the top side. Show is behind enemy lines. There is a glow if they wanted, but Time looking for Mundane Zebra. Now the teleport coming in. Arcane Orb is going to land, but not enough damage. Not enough of the magic missiles have connected, but Shoop Up time starting to trade. KJ Kegs is in the area. And now Shoop Up still trying to jump over. Not going to be able to. C10 for HD1 is actually just going to be able to run down time in the meanwhile. But yeah, so that's going to be third kill going over to Invade Camp Enjoys as DH McGiblets is going to pull back. Meep will get a little bit of damage done as Monday Zebra just gets completely run down. Revolving sweep on a time. But that's just going to put them immediately into the entangling roots. Shoop Up still taking a decent amount of damage, but the chains connect. And Shoop Up's just able to stand in the front line. Decently low HP, but with the help of C10, they're just going to be able to take down Meep. Time starting to get pretty low as well. And Revolving Sweep will be more than enough, and one final auto will secure the kill. 5-2 the kill score. And that's going to be a decent amount of Zerg pushing through the bot lane as well. It's just going to be Computex, the healer, Anduin shoving in, but when it's just Show and Super, there's only so much they can do. They don't really have strong defense until level 10 coming out from Show. And that's assuming that they go the Disintegration Ray. And now Celestial Charge is going to land. Super's going to take a little bit of damage. Same with KJ Kegs. And now they have already broken through the wall. And it is time for another Celestial Charge. A Super almost burst down to 0. Will be alive with just 400 HP. Make move. They're at the perfect time. But all of the Zerg are still pushing in. They're getting a lot of damage to this fort. And I'd be really surprised if they're able to defend it, because that's definitely going to be going down. Now, do you look for a kill afterwards? They do get the pullback with the chains. Chastised as well. And Super trying to jump away. C10 will get hit by the Stormbolt. But in the meanwhile, on the top side, they do get a kill. As I don't want to look away, because it looks like either of these two teams could really start blowing up. But Mundane Zebra will be able to take the Thrall back. So it was a 1-for-1 trade up in the top side. It's Computex taking a decent amount of poke as well. But both sides are alive. DH McGiblet's just going to be able to collect that health orb. It is 6-3 now in terms of kill score. But at the same time, they do lose that bot lane fort. And that's going to be a very, very big issue for them, because this has always been a very snowballing map. But now Money Zebra may have gone a little bit too far. Show is in the area. Same with Super, as now Shoop Up could be looking to try and trade back. And it will be 1-for-1. Revolving Sweep not going to be able to land with the Carnage. Dealing so much damage. No level 10 yet, but now Shoop Up all alone, and there are 4 members strong. Shoop Up still looking to try and turn back, but Shoop Up's trying to stay alive and is somehow surviving the cones as well. And Shoop Up Revolving Sweep into KJ Kegs, and in the meanwhile, C10 for HD1's the one that goes down, but it's a 1-for-1 so far. Time still alive, looking to fight, in Time getting run down by Shoop Up again, and they will be taken down, but now the teleport coming in for a Show will be able to take down Computex. So far it's a 2-for-2, but they are still fighting. Revolving Sweep is gonna land. Win to the code, and Show just gonna get taken down. Super still alive, but now it's 3-on-2. And Shoop Up, Money Zebra, and GH McGiblets, they're just gonna be able to continue this push. They will be able to get a little bit of damage onto the fort, not too much, but they come out the victors in this fight. And with over a level lead, and they already have the bottom 4 pushing in passively for them, they're in a very good spot. But now Final Strike just going to get used for seemingly a little bit of poke damage onto the fort. C10 coming in from the side, just trying to pull them back. Mundane Zebra also hitting from the other end as Meep Moop. Going to take a little bit of damage, but now Wrath of the Angear is going to be coming through. They have the Chastise. They have everything they need, and Shoop Up with the Revolving Sweep. Going to be able to finish off that kill. And now another cone going to pull back Show, but Show smartly just teleports right behind the fort and will be okay. Now the beacons are going to be activating in 10 seconds, so we are going to be seeing another fight for the Zerg, but the way things are moving right now, it definitely looks like Invade Camp Enjoyers are the ones that are also going to be enjoying that overall lead. Super taking a lot of damage. Hookshot going to land as well. Celestial Charge does not, however. And instead, they're just turning on to Shoop Up. Revolving Sweep into 5, though. And Shoop Up is all alone. Sundering as well. Buys a little bit of space, but they don't have the damage to follow up. Celestial Charge into the back line. And instead, they're just going to take down C10 for HD1. And they're able to take down 2 in return. Computex still alive, as now they're gonna get the root on to Show, and with the Revolving Sweep, another Carnage, and that's all that's gonna be needed. And now Time all alone into 3. KJ Kegs is actually there. We'll be able to take down 1. But Computex with the healing, with the help of Shoop Up, and just like that, it is a 5-for-0. Just seemingly out of nowhere, Invade Camp and George just absolutely walking through this fight, one by one, securing those kills, securing that advantage. And now with that, they are gonna be able to retake control of the beacons. Mundane Zebra in the meanwhile has taken out the top fort and is already starting on this top lane wall. And yeah, it just seems like they're winning basically everyone at the exact same time. What is this? Frost Blast. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was Frost Blast or Frost Nova. But yeah, they're already about a level and a half up in the lead. They're going to have another beacon coming up soon, as now Celestial Charge into the hook, into the Chastise Super, still alive at 350 HP, but there's the Frost Blast coming through, and one more auto is all that's needed, and Computex is going to be able to secure the kill. Thundering, not in range, not going to be able to land, but Celestial Charge does, then do the back line, and they have found Meep Moop, and Meep Moop just going to get taken down. Ratithy and Geese, in the meanwhile, has been able to find the poor Greyman, and Greyman just going to be following as well. So another 3-for-0, and it really does seem like they're just starting to walk away with this game. Now they do have a big set of Zerg on the top side. They have the cannon, they have the siege minions, and they're just going to be pushing out the bot side at the exact same time. There's still going to be this one Ultralisk that they will need to get rid of, but they can basically just ignore it, because look at the pressure that the Zerg and the mercenary camps are getting just on their own. They finished off the wall. They're even taking Super and Time down very low. Both of them even having to back away, even with Meep Moop's healing. That's going to be half of that keep gone. And in the meanwhile, they're just going to be spawning more and more stuff. That's the power of the Zagara. You can just continuously push in whenever you want. And this keep also going to be below half HP as well. Only 10% of the Zerg remaining on the top side. So doesn't seem like they're going to be able to finish off either of these two keeps. But now Revolving Sweep going to be there. They're able to find Super. Frost Blast in the background as well. C10 going to be able to land Celestial Charge. And there it is. The Light Bomb finally going to be coming through. It's KJ Kags going to be fighting in the back lane. Super is still trying to zone off the damage dealer. Sundering splits the fight off into two, but it's not going to be enough. And they're just going to be able to get 2 kills there in a row. DH McGiblets still looking for the hook, not going to be able to land it, but they do get this bottom keep. Revolving Sweep on to Super. Computex with the extra root. DH McGiblets following it up as well, but the damage just is not there yet. Shoepuff could be looking for Show, but hasn't been able to find it yet. But they're just slowly pushing in. In the meanwhile, C10 just trying to prevent the resets. And actually, we'll take down Show in the process. KJ Kegs also in a pretty bad spot. Will get hit. Actually, interestingly enough, they're not going to be able to land the hook from McGiblets. And they're able to take down C10. And now Computex all alone is the healer. Trying to buy some time. Trying to heal back up. Flash heal. But will still get taken down. That is a 2-for-0. This time favoring the side of Too Many Geese. So they're still very far behind. They're almost 3 full levels down at the current moment. Bot lane keep is gone. It is Nidus Worm, interestingly enough. I only just noticed that as well. So Mud and Zebra definitely having a little bit of fun here, especially on the smaller map, but it does let them push in multiple waves at the same time, and I think that's kind of the main pressure, just trying to play the macro game. Now Super does see McGiblets is going to go on that Frost Blast, is going to be able to land. Sundering will slow down as well as KJ Kegs able to get the kill, and now just Shoepuff alone into 4. No one is in the area, and Shoepuff is just going to try to fight this out, but again, 2-for-0. Coming in for Too Many Geese, and the boss is available, and C10 for HD1 kind of went in a little bit early before the rest of the team has arrived, so make that a 3-for-0, and now it's Computex. Anduin versus all. Mundane Zebra is just going to be split pushing up into the top side, trying to get the waves shoved in. It looks like they're just going to be giving away this boss. I don't think Computex can do anything on their own. So a little bit of a comeback play coming out from Too Many Geese, but the real question is, how much can they even get for this? The Archangel is a strong boss monster, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, they're still over a level down, even after all those plays, and they are still definitely down on the map. But Computex with the Light Bomb going to be able to land it onto 3, just trying to buy some time, but Computex will just get run down, so it is going to be another kill, and they're just going down one by one. If they keep this up, Too Many Geese can definitely get back into this game. Invade Camp and George may have enjoyed it a little bit too much, as now the hook shot will land right back. But the Archangel is now sieging, and they're even getting some beacon progress during this. And Super still playing forward, found McGiblets, but no one's really there to follow up on that play yet. Couple more magic missiles, couple more autos coming in, and with the Archangel, they're going to be able to take this. As meanwhile on the bot side, they will be able to find Thrall. They will be able to get that extra kill for themselves. And the Archangel is able to push, but it's already low HP. They can basically just let the minions handle it. As the rest of Invade Camp and Joyce, they're just going to retake those beacons. They've already gotten 34% is all the beacon progress that they've been able to get. But Super actually going to be trying to bring one back, just buy a little bit more time for the team. They are on an even talent here, and this has not been the case for a while. So once the Thrall is back, if they really wanted to, they could look for a fight. Super going to be hearthing out from behind enemy lines. Will be safe. But very interesting angle. C10 for HG1 going a little bit deep. The hook not going to land from McGiblet, so not going to be able to pull anyone else back to the cone. But once again, the beacons are going to be lit. Gondor calls for aid, and it is going to be Invade Camp Enjoyers that are once again going to be getting the fun out of all of this big Zerg rush. But even so, just getting 34% for yourself will help out a little bit in this push. And luckily, their Zerg are the ones on our top side. But on the flip side of that, that also means the bot lane Zerg, the one that's going to hit 100%, is going to be headed straight for your core. And you can see they're looking for a fight. They're looking for something. They have found C10, and that could be the target. But C10 is still buying some space and will get taken down. But in the meanwhile, Frostblast lands onto 2. Sundering will prevent any kind of follow-up. Computex and DH McGillen still fighting, but Show, revolving sweep into the backline, will get taken down. So it is a 1-for-1 so far. Shoop taking so much damage, but Leap of Faith from Computex is going to keep him alive. And look at that perfect... Oh! Almost lands that final strike, but unfortunately not going to be able to. But the Leap of Faith coming out from Computex really helped keep Super alive. Because now Shoop going to get hit by the Ravenous Spirits as well. But Light Bomb into the backline, and they're able to get both of them. And Super's going to be gone. Kitchen Keg's trying to get someone in the backline, but it might just be a little bit too late. It's going to be a 4-for-0 so far. Meep Moop going to be the final survivor. Revolving Sweep is going to land. Computex looking for the Chastise. Not going to be able to land her. As Shoop once again, one final auto going to get the kill. They're going to get all 5. It's going to be a 5-for-0. 29-50 in the kill score. Very bloody game. But it is game 1 going over to Invade Camp Enjoyers. I mean, not really too much post-game analysis to be said there. It definitely seems like Shoepuff especially just kind of hands diffing pretty hard there. And then McGiblet's obviously finding a lot of extra picks, either with a Frost Blast or just hooking someone in. Yeah, they just fell really far behind on the side of too many Geese. There was a little bit of an attempt to be able to come back. Invade Camp Enjoyers, as they're a little bit known for, played a little bit too much for fun, gave back a decent amount of kills, gave back the boss, but they were still super far ahead even after all that. They were still in a very good spot, and they were just able to walk this in and just end the game pretty cleanly after that. So game 1 going to be going over there, but in the meanwhile, we're going to go to a short break, and when we come back, it'll be game number 2, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. And we are back with game number 2. This time we're going to Infernal Shrine. So, bit of a different map, bit of a bigger map, but definitely a map where fighting gets rewarded. Now, I know that's true for most maps, but obviously there's some situations where Sky Temple, a lot of the time you don't really need a fight if you're ahead, so you can just kind of let the team walk into you. But draft has started, and already it's going to be just a little bit different, as we're going to be seeing the Lucio banned away first on the side of Invade Camp Enjoyers, as AoE Rules is also going to be coming into this game on their side, and I believe Lucifer as well. So we're going to have a couple substitutions this time around, as both teams try to shake up their rosters just a little bit. But Junkrat going to be the ban coming out from Too Many Geese. So very different drafts already coming out from both these two teams. Obviously, it's a different map. Being able to hit over the wall is going to be incredibly useful. And banning out the Brightwing as well. And again, as this is a bigger map, Brightwing obviously going to be just that much better. The bigger the map, the more usage you get out of that Brightwing. So, not really surprised to see that getting removed out here. Definitely not as big a map as something like Cursed Hollow maybe, but always going to be a good ban. But that does mean that Joanna and Vala, both of those that were banned away on the side of ICE, they're still going to be in the pool. They're both still going to be available, as the Maiev going to be the final ban coming out of Too Many Geese. So with that, a couple playmakers are going to get removed, and it's just going to be Uther locked in for the H McGiblets. Now again, this could be main tank, this could be healer, it could be offlane. This team, this roster, they do whatever they want, so it's really hard to tell. But as Joanna and Vala were banned first phase in game number 1, they're going to be locked in first phase for super and time. So both of them are going to have what I assume are going to be their main heroes of choice. I mean, if it was banned away from them game number 1 and game number 2, they insta-lock that in for themselves. Hopefully this is where they can show what they can do. Hopefully this is where they can give them a pretty big run for their money. But Medivh going to get locked in for C10 for HD1. And Orphea going to get locked in for Computex. So, kind of a very strong magic team comp so far coming out. Medivh, not hugely DPS early on. Obviously needs to stack up that Arcane Rift, but once it's done, can deal a decent bit of damage. Orphea very much needs to land that Shadow Wall. It's basically her entire kit is around landing that. If you're able to hit that, you should have a lot of an easier time hitting everything else, and especially surviving, which is definitely a big issue some Orphea players definitely run into. But they could be lacking a little bit of consistent DPS. On Invade Camp Enjoyers, they could definitely be missing that out a little. As Deathwing going to be banned away by Too Many Geese, and the Malfurion going to be the ban in response. So they're just getting rid of green heroes, it seems. I don't think that's actually their strategy, but Lucio, Brightwing, and Malfurion, I guess they're kind of great. Both Malfurion's beard and Brightwing is like bluish, green, teal. Doesn't really matter. But Dahaka and Anduin going to get locked in for Sho and KJ Kegs. So this time around, they're going to have the Anduin on their side. As we're still waiting to see, it could be a double healer composition coming out here for Invade Camp Enjoyers, and that's exactly what it's going to be. So it is going to be the Uther main tank, and it is going to be the Ana in the pseudo main healer role, so to speak. And Malthael going to be the offlane choice for Mundane Zebra. And we're just waiting to see what Lucifer's final pick here is going to be. They definitely would want either another assassin or another bruiser. Vala can be a solo DPS, but you would definitely want something that can kind of assist with that. But they're just going to bring in a second DPS that is going to be the Falstad. Having the global is going to be nice. We're going to have to see what build they're going to go. I think either of them could be fine this game. Maybe even slightly preference over towards the Hammerang build. But again, going to be Lucifer's choice. We're going to see what they're going to be able to pick for themselves in this game number 2. But both drafts are locked in. It is 1-0 for Invade Camp Enjoyers. And let's see if Too Many Geese are able to bring it back, or if this is just going to be a quick 2-0 domination. Let's find out right now. And here we are. It is time to load into Infernal Shrines for game number 2 between Invade Camp Enjoyers and too many Geese. Now, before we get into the gameplay, I would like to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, Factor 75. Factor 75 is a meal service plan that delivers straight to your door, and it is delicious, nutritious, and all the food is ready in less than 2 minutes. So click my link or use my code FACTOR SC82337 to get 50% off your first box and free breakfast for 1 year. So be sure to click my link. And yeah, and thank you to Factor 75 for sponsoring today's stream. Now, unfortunately, we are also going to be getting started on the, or we're going to be starting with a pause. So we're going to be a little bit of wait before we're able to head back in, as someone got food delivered, which perfect timing, I guess. But okay, they're basically ready. Don't even need the music. I thought this might be a longer pause. But yeah, you don't need food delivery when you have Factor 75. That's all I'm going to say right now, you know. But we are back in the game. Just a very short pause. Both sides are just going to be grouping up towards that middle lane. C10 for H21 going to be a little bit behind, but McGiblet's going to get pulled back with a dragon all alone. Will try to survive. The protection actually coming through, and McGiblet's actually going to get saved. I thought McGiblet's was going to be completely down there. Now Mundane Zebra even jumping into the front, trying to deal a decent bit of damage on the way back. Neither side's really been able to take over, but Time taking a lot of damage, will get healed up. McGiblet's is looking for the play, but instead they're going to be able to take down the Orphea. Another protection. Mundane Zebra is still able to heal back up a little bit. And we're starting to see a decent amount of stacks coming through for both these two teams. Arcane Rift at 3. Vampiric Rounds already at 21. But what's really interesting there is it's going to be the Gathering Storm build, kind of as expected. As now Avery, Rose, and McGibbous, they could be looking for KJ Kegs, but not going to be coming through quite yet. Mundane Zebra and Lucifer still going to be trying to fight back and forth in the offlane, but again, melee into range, Lucifer should have some advantage. At the very least, should be able to stack up those camps, as Computex actually just trying to sneak away this camp on the bottom side. But in the meanwhile, AoE Rules is going to get found. The Condemn will pull back with a protection, coming out a perfect time. C10 for H21 going to be able to keep AoE Rules alive. And now Show could be in a bad spot. Same with Super. Mundane Zebra just going to be here looking for something. The Drag not going to be able to land either. Now the fight starting group on the other side. And it is going to be fire at will. So it's the multi-shot build coming out of Time. But again, the protections coming out from C10 for H21. Just always on the right side of the map. And now they're the ones playing forward. KJ Keg's going to be the main target, but the Chastise lands on to 2. And DH McGiblet again protected by C10 for H21. Just let them have some play. But AoE Rules going to get pulled back, but they just don't have the damage remaining. And now with the Hand of Justice, Show almost getting hit by the Chomp, but not going to be taken out entirely. McGiblets, they're all on such low HP. Computex will eventually go down. Lucifer not going to be able to find anyone else, but it is going to be another kill going over to too many Geese. And they're starting this game off a little bit stronger. They're already almost half a level lead, about a third of a level up. They're 2-0 in terms of kills, and they're really starting to get their stacks going. The main thing, though, is C10 for H21 has definitely been in very, very solid positions, as we're seeing once again just slowing down this camp take, taking some poke damage over top, as well as AoE Rules could be in a bad spot, but the Condemn onto C10, and they have the Chastise not going to be able to land. The Drag lands though, but immediately Hand of Justice away, and they're just going to be losing time. They're going to lose KJ Kegs. Super should be next, but we'll have the Iron Skin. Might be enough HP, but with the dot, oh, with the tap. No, it's not going to be enough. The wall's not going to keep him alive. Is now Show still trying to survive. Lucifer goes down to the top lane, and just out of nowhere, it's 5-0 in terms of kills. All of them going to Invade Camp Enjoyers. Yeah, so just like that, they have over a level lead. They're going to have the waves shoving in. All 3 are going to be pushed in. The Skeletons have already been started on the top side as well, so just really good mechanical play once again coming out of Invade Camp Enjoyers. But now KJ Kegs will be here trying to get a little bit of prio back in the mid lane, but as level 7 talents do come through. So with those extra talents, with the fact that they're already at 30 skeletons, this should just be their Punisher. It is going to be the Frozen Punisher going into the mid lane. C10 just continuing to stack up those Arcane Rifts. Already at 32 out of 40. So C10 in a very, very strong position to be able to finish those off. Is a little bit low on mana for this push. So unfortunately, will be lacking a little bit in that regard, as the rest of the team is just going to start pushing in here. And C10 will be able to get the tap, and the Punisher doesn't deal too much damage yet. And as of the PTR patch, cannot jump over the gate, so that will definitely change the meta up a little bit. will force the defensive team to take on a little bit more risk, but they're still doing a lot of damage, and they're just going to teleport over, take down time. And yeah, they're just going to be able to continue their push up onto this mid lane fort. It's just going to be KJ Kegs and Super trying to defend this, but they can't even walk up. Sleep Dart even going to land, and now Hand of Justice, and KJ Kegs just going to get a run down as well. Show now in the area trying to clear this camp at least a little bit. Lucifer's in the area as well, but again, this fort's in a bad spot. Lucifer starting to take a decent amount of damage as well with the Chomp. Shadow Waltz not going to be able to land, so will take a little bit of damage on the way out. So they will be able to hold this fort for now, but there's still an over 1 level lead as time taking a lot of damage as well. Super will get hit by the Hand of Justice. Money Zebra now diving it into the backline, just trying to get as much AoE damage as possible. As Show will get healed up, but Show is just slowly getting whittled down. KJ Kegs trying to keep him alive, but it's not enough. Hand of Justice as well. Super trying to get away, has the Iron Skin, and with 30 HP will be able to survive. As now time looking for the DPS, not going to be able to find it. And another, I guess, very delayed 3-4-0 play coming through. And they're going to be able to take the mid lane forward. They're going to get a little bit of damage on the wall. 2-level lead for themselves. Mundane Zebra just also going to be able to steal away the siege cap. And they're just going to continue walking away with this game. And yeah, not really too surprising. They're just going to continue walking forward, continue just taking out these camps. There is another siege camp on the bot side, but they are the invade camp enjoyers. They may try to do something a bit more aggressive, but there's really nothing to invade upon here. So it's just going to be this one camp here. The Fallen Shaman in the top of the Bruiser camp has already been started by Time and KJ Keg, so not really going to be able to answer that one, as they do have all of their members in the bot side. But level 10s are live. They have all the tools that they need for this next siege. And I'm wondering what the next play is going to be, because right now it doesn't even seem like they really need to think too much about the macro. They just need to group together and just start fighting them. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Time is going to be their first target, but Super going to be in the way instead. Shadow Walt's not going to be enough. Super just going to stay mounted. We'll be able to run it out with the Iron Skin. But again, they're not able to walk up to their waves at all. And now Time tries to walk in. Might be a little bit alone. They have the portals as well in Time. Needs to get out to safety ASAP. Will get dismounted. Sleep Dart gonna get vaulted away. Super, the only one standing at the fort. They still have their walls, by the way. They're just getting dove behind their walls. And Super trying to survive. But now C10 could be in a bad spot. Does have the max Arcane Rift, so not gonna be in a bad spot. Will still get taken down, though. As now the Drag actually able to find another member. And AoE rules should be going down here as well. And it's going to be 2 kills going over to them. Blessed Shield finds 2. And with the Gust, they're able to push back Computex and McGiblets. And now Eternal Feast over top. But the Strafe just dealing so much damage to Computex. And Computex is going to get hit with a Condemn. They're going to be able to find McGiblets. And once again, it's going to be the 4-for-0 going the other way. Too many Geese. They're going to be able to get something back for themselves. They're less than a full level down now. And they're going to get their own push started in the bot side. Now, again, looking over at this stacks, it's going to be 22 for Fire at Will. So this is essentially 42. Once you hit that 20 threshold, you get a bunch of extra damage immediately. And 44 for Gathering Storm. Nothing super high, but Leyline Seal able to land onto a C10. Not going to get pulled back with a Condemn. My name's Zebra. Still trying to fight in the middle of the enemy team. And KJ Kegs in a bad spot. Will get finished off. My name's Zebra just kind of teleporting between everyone. Got 1, got 2. Looking for more. And Time should be the next one falling down. The protection is there as well. And Time just going to get finished off. And it's a 3-for-0 so far. Super going to be the next target here. And with the stun, with a couple of extra damage deals, but is mounted up. Will get stopped right now. But the Blessed Shield buys a little bit of space. But what about the portals? They need another Hand of Justice, but Super just going to be able to walk it out. So it is going to be just a 3-for-0. As make that 4, Computex is going to be able to solo out the Dahaka on the top side. And with that, the Skeletons have already started. And now they're just going to be looking for Lucifer. With the Gust going to try to push them backwards. But again, the teleports are still available if they want to look for that. And Lucifer just going to get run down and taken out. 14-6 the kill score at less than 9 minutes. And Computex just playing the objective so far. Just trying to grab as many of these Skeletons as possible. And again, in the next patch, those Skeletons going to have a little bit of magic armor. So for someone like Computex, it would be a little bit harder as the Strafe is coming through. Eternal Feast is there, but Show's going to be able to get the kill. So at least something going back in favor of Too Many Geese. And they could even look to retake onto this objective. They're not that far behind in terms of Skeletons. However, they need to be a little bit careful because AoE Rules, the healer, just starting to run down Super. Mundane Zebra also in the area, same with C10, as Mundane Zebra is immediately going to pop the Tormented Soil and just dealing so much damage. Has the Unstoppable, has the Protect coming through. C10 Condemn is going to land, and C10 could be in a bad spot, but with the portal able to get away. Leyline Seal also buys a little bit of time. Blessed Shield not going to be able to connect. And just like that, Mundane Zebra might even be able to survive. Starting to run low on mana, though. Just needs a little bit more damage with the protection coming through. And now McGiblets is here. Now AoE Rules is here. And now they can start turning this fight right around. Lucifer also in the area looking for AoE Rules. Not going to be able to find a quite yet. Will knock AoE Rules back. The Unstoppable's there. But the D-Shield going to keep this Ana alive. And now the Gust gonna kind of move stuff around. I don't think I've ever seen the Gust with the Dragon at the same time. But now C10 in a bad spot. Time trying to move forward, not going to be able to find the damage, and the Arcane Punisher going to be taken down by Computex. This time, going to be able to at least take down AoE Rules. C10 for H21 is low, but will survive, and now with the extra bit of damage, they're going to be able to bring it back on in time. Gidget Kegs going to be the next target coming through. The Arcane Punisher trying to push a little bit. The Arcane Punisher did go AFK there for a little bit, but will now just proceed to push into the lane now. They have the Chastise, they have the Condemn, but they have just to the dash for Computex. More than enough. The blind as well as now Gidget Kegs has a light bomb. Not going to be able to land it. Just going to be using it as he's honing to his Lucifer. Almost gets taken down by the Chomp. And again, the push is continuing. The top lane fort is going to be taken down. A little bit over 50% HP left on this Punisher. One of these is going to be gone right now. The Dahaka is still off the map, so it is 4v5 overall. But they are sending 2 towards the mid lane. AoE Rules is going to be there with C10. As everyone else is just pushing into this top side gate. Now Super could be looking for a play. Has a Blessed Shield available and needs to use it ASAP, but the Gust just going to be able to bring them out. Because now the drag is going to land, but the cleanse is there. Show goes into stasis, tries to buy a little bit of space. Shadow Walt's coming out for Computex, trying to buy some space. And we are starting to see that Gathering Storm is starting to build up. It is starting to deal damage, but they're so far behind right now that that's kind of their main hope. Just hope that their infinitely stack ability scale enough, but right now it doesn't seem to be the case. Mundane Zebra with a Tormented Souls with a D-Shield just running down time, and they are out of time right now on the side of Too Many Geese. Light Bomb trying to come out again, not even going to be able to land. It's going to be a quick 3-for-0 as well as AoE Rules still going to be the area. They're behind 2 gates and 2 keeps. And they're still winning the fights. Mundane Zebra actually starting to get taken down decently low. But again, with a double healer, they're allowed to do this. They're allowed to keep walking in and fighting. Mundane Zebra just going to continue chasing down Super. But a little bit of extra damage is not going to be enough. McGiblets and AoE Rule is going to be able to keep Mundane Zebra alive. And now again, a little bit of extra poke from the Gathering Storm. The Gust going to split them up a little bit. And now this is where they could look to get something back. DH McGiblets will be able to get Lucifer down. But Computex is in a bad spot as well. Will have the protection from C10. And the Leyline Seal going to buy some space. Eternal Feast not going to be able to land. So because of that, it's not going to be able to be answered. But now AoE Rules could be in a bad spot. The Drag not going to be able to land. And now Show could have gone a little bit too far up. But will get taken down. Meanwhile, Super alone in the back line. And it's just going to be AoE Rules trying to deal with that. As the strafe now coming through, and Mundane Zebra actually going to get finished off. Blessed Shield as well. C10 going to be in a bad spot. Will get stunned up. Chastise lands as one. AoE Rules trying to get to the portals. Will be able to, but this Ana is still on barefoot. Does not have the mount. Super going to be looking for the area with the sleep dart from AoE Rules. Going to buy some space then. They're just having fun. Divine Star going to be able to land. Time just needs a couple more autos and will be able to get that. So AoE Rules will be going down in this fight. Okay, now, how many kills are we at? 33 kills at 13 minutes. I feel like I haven't even had a chance to really talk about the state of the game. Because the fighting never stops. The Super also getting run down by Computex. Lucifer is in the area as well. The Chomp buying a decent amount of HP, but Computex just going to get taken down all alone. And that's going to let them steal away the camp. That's going to let them push out into this middle lane. But still less than a full level down after Computex's demise. So, but it's still a very, very solid lead for Invade camp enjoyers. But they might be losing a little bit onto this mid lane. It's Mundane Zebra, the Gust, not going to be able to land. Tormented Soil as well. Blessed Shield not going to land either. And because of that, Gidget Kegs all alone into this. Light Bomb is going to be there. But again, the Unstoppable, the Protect, the Invulnerable, everything coming through. Just throw everything onto Mundane Zebra. But the Drag is going to land as well. Same with the Strafe. And Mundane Zebra going to be the first to go. McGiblets is all alone on the wrong side. They have the body blocks, but the portals are still too strong. C10 for H21 going to be able to get McGiblets out to safety. But they were still able to get the kill. They were still going to be able to get started on the skeleton as Show going to finish finish off pushing this wave. Show could be looking for a play, but Hand of Justice is going to be there. But the stasis will be able to cleanse outweigh Show. So they used a lot of tools for that. Not going to be able to get too much off of that. Just a decent bit of poke onto the Dahaka, who should be able to heal a decent chunk of it anyway. But Leyline Seal on 2-3. What can they do after that? They have the Eternal Feast, but it's only going to land 1 or 2 shots. But it's still 4v5. They're still doing quite well. And now Super could be in a bad spot. Kijikags is there. And look at the poke damage. 101 stacks as AoE Rule is taking a decent amount of poke from time as well. 49 stacks on that Fire at Will. This burst damage that can come out of too many Geese, it can really start adding up. And I think that's how you want to play it into a double healer combo. Super just gonna get one shot by Computex in the backline now with the Shadow Waltz landing. Kijikags, one more chop will get taken down. The Dragon's gonna land a little bit afterwards. And now Time could be the next target. Leyline Seal as well. And one more chop, and that's going to be enough. Show is alone into 4. Shadow Waltz, one more auto will be the kill. AoE Rule is going to be able to get that with the dot. I just think that they're not going to be able to get the Punisher that is going to be going over to invade Camp and Joys. As while they're taking the Punisher, they're also just going to go ahead and get started on this mid lane fort. McGiblets just needing to tank it up a little bit, but with a double healer composition, with the extra DPS that they have, should be completely okay dealing with that. Now AoE Rule's gonna be landing a few autos over onto Lucifer, as everyone else just playing with the portals. They're sieging up the mid lane. It's just Lucifer all alone, no Gus for 20 seconds. So this is all but an impossible hold. Level 20 power spike as well. But if there is a moment for them to come through, it would be now. But Lucifer taking so much damage from the Punisher. Leyline Seal as well. Gonna land onto Super, and Super with the Condemn able to pull back 3. Light Bomb is gonna land onto 2, but the D shield is there. Tormented Soil is there. And just like that, they're gonna lose 2 time. Actually dealing a decent bit of damage on the way back, but with the Punisher still alive with the AoE Rules ending the game, it is gonna be the 2-0 domination, and Invade Camp and Joy's gonna continue climbing the rankings. And really not, again, just not too much to say there. Just, let's be honest with ourselves. Invade Camp Enjoyers, they are some of the strongest players in the NGS. Individually speaking, I don't think anyone's really going to deny that. They're definitely up there. So, yeah, they're just able to play super well together. They're able to hands diff. And sometimes that's all you need. But they definitely have weaknesses. We've seen them lose in the past. And I'm sure we're going to be able to see them lose again in the future. But hopefully they got some fun out of this on the side of Too Many Geese, but either way, it's going to be a pretty quick 2-0. So Invade Camp and Joy is just going to continue climbing up those rankings. Should be tied for first place now. But with that, that is going to be the end of series number 1. Let me just get someone for an interview. I'm assuming it's going to be a Mundane Zebra. That's typically who they send, but we'll see. I'll be happy with basically anyone. If you're wondering why I'm looking so high up, because that's where my monitor is now. Right here. But in the meanwhile, thanks for watching. Because of how early we ended, I'm probably going to end the stream and restart it again for the head-to-head. So,
hello.
I have to see it. Hello, it has been a while.
How's it going, big guy?
Pretty good. How are you doing, Mundane Zebra?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
So, another strong 2-0. I believe you are now 3-0 overall, 6-0 for maps. How's it feeling considering it's another really good start to the season?
I mean, we've only played the easiest teams, so I'm not really taking much from it.
Well, fair enough. And kind of on that note then, are there any teams that you are looking forward to facing?
No.
I guess also fair enough. But so you are grouping in with this team, and is this kind of a continuation of the potential Scrim Thursday with you also getting added to the main roster? Or just kind of tell me about how this team came to be.
Yeah, it's a potential Scrim Thursday plus me and Gibbs.
Yeah, all right. Nice, short and sweet answers there. But yeah.
I could elaborate.
Yeah, could you?
I Actually, I can't. That's really the whole story. If you ask me another question, I can elaborate on that instead.
Yeah, sure. So, let's talk a little bit about the picks you got today. So, were those some things you're actually gonna be playing in those really difficult matchups, or is this just something that you kind of felt to play today? It was you thought it was going to be an easier series, so you just played some for fun heroes and for fun compositions.
I mean, we're still gonna play these in the harder matchups. I think our whole point is just to have some fun. Um, so that's what we're gonna focus on.
Now, I believe last season there hasn't been too much consistent practice. I know a lot of the scrim setup has been done by a third party for you, but how does the scrim setup going this season? Are you actually able to get the practice you need?
No, we're getting failed by our beautiful boy Bob.
Oh, DH Bob, shame on you in chat.
Sorry, I'm at DH Bob. You're right. I'm so sorry.
You gotta remember the DH. It's the title, you know? It's like you wouldn't exclude Doctor.
Exactly. You wouldn't exclude the fact that he's just a small boy from Minnesota, and we're just so proud of him for making it this far.
Insert, I'll never let Gibbs again. Fair. Sorry, just in the chat. Miguel was saying,
What did he say?
you'll never let Gibbs DPS again.
He actually played pretty well.
Is that what
I
you...
was very surprised.
Well, I mean, as long as it works. I mean, this is where you'd want to experiment early on in the season. I mean, realistically, you guys are definitely making playoffs, so...
Yeah. It's not really a question.
No. It'll be a lot of fun when those best of fives. It always is. But with that, do you have any final thoughts? Any last things you want to say?
Just want to give a shout out to DH Bob. We're just so proud of him.
I think we're all proud of him, deep in our hearts. Well, thank you for coming to this interview, and congratulations again on your 2-0. Hope to see you around later.
Hey, thanks, big guy. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And with that, we are going to be finishing things off here. It's just going to be a, well, extended break. This is going to be a doubleheader today. In about an hour, we're going to have Can't Counterpick Stupid versus Suds with Buds. But again, because there's a whole hour until that game comes live, I'm just going to end the stream now and just restart it back up once we're closer to that. So thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again in about an hour. And if not, I hope you all have yourselves a great night. Bye-bye.